Hello, wonderful people. You are welcome to Home Safety, the only arena where we discuss safety measures to challenges and potential hazards in our home. There has been an increasing awareness to food hygiene lately, and on today's episode of Home Safety, we get to learn how to prioritize food hygiene in our homes and how to ensure food is well prepared for consumption, even outside the auspices of our homes. So stay with us as we learn together. Thank you so much for staying with us. With me here is Miss Ida, CEO of NIS Cakes and More. When you see her, you know that she's very beautiful. In fact, she doesn't only decorate cakes. I'm sure that she has a secret that decorates her body and her face as well. You're welcome, Miss Ida.
Thank you so much.
You're very beautiful.
You're beautiful
Very.
too. Thank you.
Okay, so before we delve into our topic, I have seen NIS Cakes and More. Is there actually more to it, or there is just a different kind of cakes that you produce?
There is always more to it. Of course, there is more to it. We do food as well, food baskets, buffet settings for events, either funeral, weddings, engagements, anything at all.
Weddings, engagements. So anything consumable you can. So with food, you prepare food for customers, not only for events, like individual customers in their private homes.
Yes.
You prepare food for them.
Yes.
Wow, for the busybodies, I guess.
Yes.
Okay, so back to our topic of the day. We hear often that you have to wash your hands, wash the food before you cook. Is that all it takes in food hygiene, or that one too, there is more?
That's one too, there is more. It's not just about washing the food and washing your hands. Even the way you prepare the food will also contribute to.
The way you prepare the food, as in your demeanor, your mood, what you wear, or the utensils you use.
Sometimes, even the environment where you're preparing your food.
Wow.
That's why you sometimes see the task forces locking people's shops. That's because of the environment where they're preparing the food. Maybe the person could look beautifully dressed. The utensils do not look dirty. However, the environment is not suitable for food.
The environment. Now, I'm looking at a kitchen setting. It's my kitchen. Your space is your space. So you decide how to keep your space. For some people, leaving utensils overnight and then washing them in the morning is what works for them. Is that a no-no?
Actually, you are not lying. A lot of people do that. Most of the time, this kind of works, it takes a lot of energy. Maybe after your food cooking, you are tired and you can't do anything again. You feel like, oh, let me just leave these things and wash it tomorrow. It happens everywhere, even in our normal daily homes. It happens. But it depends on you. Would you wake up early to wash it?
That's it.
Because
you're already tired.
Maybe then the next morning something else had to chip in, and then, oh, let me wait. After this, I'll come back to the washing of the bowls. Before she will come back, the whole thing I've started developing bacteria and all that. Which, at a point, if you always leave your bowls unwashed and then the food, the content in there gets spoiled, and then you wait for some days to wash it, most of the time when you use that same bowl to preserve food or maybe keep food, it spoils your food.
Wow.
Because you normally leave things inside that very bowl, spots.
So just because of how you handle that bowl, it can spoil a different food, a fresh meal that you put into the bowl.
Yes.
Wow.
You know, after the food gets spoiled, you realize that the bowl develops an odor.
But won't it go away after your first wash?
After the first wash, after washing, smell the bowl again.
Okay.
There's some food, it doesn't just go away. Something like maybe you're preparing egg stew and there were some eggs in that kind of bowl you left down for some days. Eggs, even if it's just one day, that overnight, it can just go bad. And egg smells badly.
Yeah.
Badly, very bad, very bad. So you can imagine.
Speaking of how we prepare the food, let's say I have prepared food I can consume at a time and I want to keep it for the next day. Is there any preservative I have to add, or I should just keep it in the fridge or freezer? How do I keep food?
It depends on how you are handling your food. Some people, most of the time, in most of our regular homes, the silver she used to cook the rice, oh, I can't eat it, I'm tired. She just get to the kitchen, drag the silver, open the fridge, push it inside, and then she just go and sleep.
Is it harmful?
Very harmful. Because, first of all, you are not even supposed to be putting cans into your fridge.
The saucepan, is it a can?
I'm not saying the saucepan is a can, but I'm speaking about cans.
Generally cans.
Even when you buy tin tomatoes, try it in a can.
Yes.
That tin tomatoes in a can will destroy faster. It will be in the fridge, but it will be spoiled and it will be contaminated because of the chemicals used in making that can. Yes, it will be contaminated. You will see your tin tomatoes in there, but it's no more safe. However, if you want to keep that same tin tomatoes, just fetch it into we have this microwave bowls.
Yes.
We have this food preserving bowls with their covers. Fetch it inside. It's freezer friendly. You pack them inside. You fix it into your freezer. It can be there for as long as you want to.
So about the saucepan we put in the fridge, you said it's different from the can. So what about it make it unsafe to keep it in the fridge?
It's not so different from the pan like that because they're all metal made. Okay. The can is metallic something, and then the saucepan too is. And then it's chemicals they put together to do that thing for you. And then that chemical isn't good for preserving.
So it's the cold,
especially in the freezer.
It's the cold that makes it harmful because we cook with heat in the saucepan and it's not harmful, right? So it's the cold that makes it harmful.
It's not so much of the cold. You made mention of the fact that you are preserving it.
Yes.
Meaning you are not eating it right now.
No.
Even with the saucepans, when we are cooking, our parents will tell you that don't use a metallic spoon to scratch under whilst you are cooking. It's best if you have a wooden spoon.
Yeah.
That tells you that when there is friction between the two metals, it can be removing some of the particles used in molding the saucepan into your food.
I see. So it's not just about the heat or the cold, right? I thought it's the cold that destroys the food, but I just learned that it's not just the cold. It's about how you handle the object you are keeping the food. Time to take Coin Sécurité. We'll be right back. Bonjour tout le monde. Bienvenue dans le Coin Sécurité. Hello everyone. Welcome to Safety Corner. If you have the habit of refrigerating food in the saucepan, it is time to put a stop to it. I mean now. Instead, get bowls like this, dish the food into it, and refrigerate the food safely in the bowl. If you want to preserve your food by refrigerating, first, make sure it's warm or it's cold. Just be sure it's not hot. À la prochaine. Au revoir. See you next time. That was educative. I hope you have learned something. If you didn't, watch it again and then get something new. So Miss Ida, with what we were talking about before we went on the break, does it mean that if I want to cook and cook healthily, I should do researches or what? I should know how to cater for my utensils, how to prepare the food, my appearance and all that. Do I need any research?
This comes in two folds. It's different if you're in your own house doing something small for yourself to eat. Normally, we know that we Africans, especially ladies from our home, mostly we are taught how to cook by our grandmothers and our parents.
Exactly.
So definitely you know that if I mix tomato and onion, I'm going to make stew with oil.
Yes.
With some meats, you just make your stew. It's normal. But when you're cooking for people, when you're commercializing your food, then I think you should add a bit of education to it. Because we all know education never ends. There's something you may never know. Even me, I still study. So I won't say that do not study about what you're doing. It's better if you are more enlightened about whatever you are venturing into. That way you get to know that you are supposed to do this, you are supposed to do that. And even being a food vendor, you are supposed to even test your blood. Of course, we do that all the time. You have to go renew, test. They'll
Renew
give
the
you
blood again.
a yellow card.
Oh, okay.
That yellow card gives you the right to go ahead and then make food for people.
I see. So, considering that, are there any hygienic practices you must go through while preparing your food? Like, say, as we mentioned earlier, you wash the vegetables, maybe you wash your saucepan. Is there any other thing? Probably you wash the board you are using, the environment. Is there any safety practice, like hygienic ones, we should adhere to?
All the time, I have a rule in my shop here. That's why there is a sink right beside us. All the time. The first thing everybody's supposed to do here is to wash your hands. However, it's not just your hand. Even your mouth, you are supposed to cover whilst you're making food for somebody. Because you may end up talking to a colleague without you even realizing. Or maybe something just came into your mind, you want to speak. You can drop saliva particles in your food as you're preparing. And that is not healthy. So it's not just about washing the vegetables and washing the utensils and all that, but even talking whilst you're cooking. And sweat. Sweat can drop and then enter into whatever you are cooking. That's why you are supposed to be so proactive when you are cooking for some people. Because any little thing can cause food poisoning.
Yes, that's true. Do you check the temperature with your food? Do you have anything to check the temperature?
It depends on what you're preparing.
Okay.
Food, it varies from one roux to the other roux. Whatever you're preparing, this is a bakery shop, mainly for baking. The food is aside, something we do here. But then you see the oven outside. You can't just on oven put in a cake or put in a butter and then just leave it in there without you knowing the temperature at which you want your butter to be baked or the minutes and hours you need that thing in the oven. The moment you slack on the timing, the temperature, you lose everything you are baking.
Okay, I asked that because in our homes, I'm not sure we monitor our temperatures with how much heat we need or how much cold we need it.
That's why I was telling you that this whole cooking thing comes in two folds. When you are doing it for yourself, you decide. But when you want to commercialize it, that's where you need education.
Then I think with cooking, you have to learn a lot too.
Of course. And then with the cooking and then the time you need, basically from our African homes, our grandmothers cook without having any temperature. They use their mind to calculate. Even salt, when they're putting inside the food, you sort of, hey, would this salt be too much for the food? But you taste and it's okay. You can't challenge that because that is home knowledge. Their own is typical. You can't challenge them. Everyone Coin someone will say you can't challenge them.
And because of experience, they are good at it.
They are good at it.
Yes. Somebody may think we are talking too much about this food hygiene thing. If I adhere to them, are there any benefits to my health? What do I stand to gain if I'm so strict on how hygienic my food consumption is? What do I stand to gain?
You are only saving your life. Because anytime you eat a contaminated food or food that isn't well prepared, you know, some of us cook in our homes and it's not well prepared. However, most of the time, you can see the person eating it, nothing will happen to the person because their stomach is used to it. Like you that your stomach is not used to it, that you came to Parasite, you go home with running stomach and you call her, please, are you okay? Oh yeah, I'm fine. I'm even at work. So, that's differences. So, sometimes we train our tummy with some kind of things that we get used to it. It doesn't affect us currently. However, it will still affect you in future. Someone said that, oh, if food poisoning can do something or safety can do something, like the madman on the street is dead. Like all mad people are dead.
But that one
Forget
is true.
about them. Oh.
What happens to them?
Because they are used to that kind of a living.
Okay.
That is what their tummy has adjusted to. And whatever that madman is doing is not in his or her right frame of mind. So the body and the mind has gotten used to everything that isn't normal. But you, with the right frame of mind, as you are eating the contaminated one, that's not what you always eat.
I see.
That's where it will affect you because something odd has mixed into your regular day.
And then that explains a lot. But then I want to know if there are specific people who are at a higher risk if they don't adhere to food hygiene. I mean, if we adhere to them, probability is we get good health, we get to live probably much longer than those who don't. So definitely, it may attract them to also practice food hygiene. But I want to know if there are people who are at a higher risk. But that will be right after this break. Stay with us. That was real quick. Thank you for staying, though. Thank you so much. I know you're learning a lot. So I was asking about the people who are at a higher risk. People like pregnant women. See, they're already on a lifeline. So considering a pregnant woman and one who is not pregnant, do you think one is at a higher risk? Or the pregnant woman? You see, they also have some antibodies that work for them. So probably they may be strong.
You don't say a pregnant woman is 100% strong because the pregnancy alone is a whole issue. Just that pregnancy alone has changed everything on your body.
Yes.
Everything. The body has to adjust to a new living, a new human being is developing, everything. And even if the body or maybe the vessel, that's the pregnant woman, she's just a vessel. Carrying
the baby.
A new baby in there is doing something that may not affect her personally. The baby do not have anything resisting her from him or her, or it's from receiving the harm the mother is trying to give to it in there. So mostly it's not about the pregnant woman per se, but it's about whatever is forming in there. They have the highest risk.
Okay, so it's not the woman.
Yes, even if the woman feels she's strong and she can do anything on a regular day, now she's no longer strong because it's either she's harming somebody.
Okay, I get it.
Or she's harming herself.
So it is more of the newcomer.
The newcomer.
Than
so
the
babies
woman.
Are, even after childbirth, forget about the baby being in the tummy. Even in the tummy is the highest because anything you consume goes straight into the baby so that the baby also feed on it. Because of that, anything you are doing, you should be careful because you are connected to a new life in you. When the baby is out, they are under so much risk of eating or consuming something unhygienic. But it will shock you. Kids that we take good care of their feeding bottles, we boil them to kill bacteria in our traditional homes. You go and meet this one boiling the feeding bottles and all that. You see the child on the floor eating sand.
They will still eat.
The sand is not even the feeding bottle, but they are boiling it. That should tell you that kids are just special from God.
Okay, that being said, it means it actually depends on the immune system too.
And even if it's not depending on the immune system, children we have a saying that most of the time you can be so careful and be careful and be careful. The child will surely put some things that is even wrong into the mouth and the child is still okay. That's because they are babies and then God has created them in that kind of a special way. But not all kids are that strong for that. Those that are from our traditional home, they are strong. They've bored them with hot water and they are strong. Not all kids can withstand that. So you're supposed to be careful about what you give to your child to consume. You're supposed to make sure that you take care of everything that belongs to your baby, so that you don't contaminate the child's food and all that, to put the child at a high risk.
Yeah,
and also old, the aged, they are also very, as you are growing old, your immune system and everything starts, the energy, the strength starts to reduce. You yourself, you are reducing strength and everything. You are depreciating at the time goes on.
We even have a saying that now
so the moment about Friday, you are supposed to be careful on what you are consuming.
Okay. Looking at your place, do you train people here?
Of course. I have over 20 girls here.
Wow.
Yes.
That's quite a number and it's impressive. Yes. How do they adjust to the hygienic measures you're putting them through, the training you are?
I'll just use one example. When you came in, I wasn't here, right?
Yes.
You saw one of my girls doing cleaning. She wasn't cooking. She was not doing anything. She was not baking. But she was in her hairnet. She was in her uniform. She was fully dressed like as if she had something doing in terms of food. But she wasn't doing anything in terms of food.
That's discipline.
So it's a rule here. You don't step. Even me, when I entered, the first thing I did was look for a hairnet. It's because I have an interview with you. That's why I even put on this weave on and all that. On a regular day, you don't have to put on this. You're supposed to put on your hairnet because a drop, just one of your hair in your food
can cost a lot.
Can cost a lot for you.
Can cost a lot. Wow. Then it tells a lot about our health in general. What you take in actually comes out on your appearance, your exposure, and everything. We are wrapping up, and before we go, any last messages, your social media handles, your location, how we can get in touch with you?
Okay, so we are located at Abeka, and then on IG we are NIS Cakes and More. Everywhere, just type NIS Cakes and More, and you'll be able to reach out to us. And also, my last message is that people should take care of their health, because your health is your wealth. You have nothing without good health. Take care of what you consume. Be very mindful of whatever you are eating, especially the roadside food. Most of the time, you don't even know who is preparing it, on what condition, the environment, who is doing it. Has the person tested to be approved to cook for people? Be careful about everything that goes into it, because now the chemicals and planting that food you're eating is something else for you. Exactly. So you're supposed to at least protect the rest of the energy you will get. You're supposed to protect your health. I
get it. So she said your health is your wealth. You need to protect anything you consume for the sake of your life and your well-being. This is how we wrap up. My name is Abena Mandi. Shout outs to Hisrich, my producer, and SM behind the camera. My outfit is proudly designed by Joyce Fashion Center, and their info is on the screen. Till we meet again, remember to think safety, teach safety, and live safely.